Hey guys, thank you for coming back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. And here we are with another review of the Eternal Ranger reviews. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Monkey D. Luffy from the Battle of Onigashima. Just like the Zoro figure that we reviewed a couple weeks ago, we're going to be taking a look at this Luffy here. I don't have many gripes about this figure, but we'll get into that when we get into that. So, first thing, as always, we're going to take a look at the packaging first. So let's get Luffy out of the way. And here we go. So, we're going to move right onto the packaging. As you can see, Monkey D. Luffy, SH Figuarts. Again, Monkey D. Luffy, just in case you forgot what his name is. Raid on Onigashima, Bandai, Tamashii Nations. Nice picture of Luffy. I usually try to put my figure in the same poses that they're pictured on the box. You have the top of the box. You got that nice map background. And again, the top of it is shaped like Luffy's head. If you want to take a read on that, it explains what SH Figuarts are. Absolutely one of my best types of toys. They are pricey. They can get pricey, but I very much think that they are very, very worth it. Side of the box, you have the name, Monkey D. Luffy once again. You have Luffy and another obligatory product shot from the anime One Piece, in case you didn't know. Side of the box, you have a bunch of different faces for Luffy. Actually, let me raise the camera real quick so that we can get a better shot of that. There we go. You have your angry face, your just normal kind of pissed off face, and then his surprised anime eyes bugging out face, which is probably my favorite face in the entire set. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shots. You have your surprised Luffy, angry Luffy, happy Luffy, getting ready to punch you in the face Luffy, kicking Luffy, and Gum Gum Bazooka hands Luffy. Got again, super action, super modeling, simple style, and heroic action. Caution, do not eat anything in this box. It could be very, very dangerous for you. And bottom of the box, you have, again, Monkey D. Luffy in his happy face. The raid on Onigashima, in case you just forgot what kind of Luffy this is. So, let's get the box out of the way and go right back into reviewing the actual figure. Alright, and here we go. Here is Luffy in all of his glory. So, let's get right into the review of the figure itself. I do like the sash, and it pops right off, just like Zoro's sash pops right off. It's on a little tab right there. His jacket itself, this part right here, is made in a rubbery plastic, so it kind of has like a free-flowing style. I do like that. I don't know if it's just my Luffy specifically, but his head is his neck joint is very loose. So, just like all SH Figuarts, he can look down that far, he can look up about that far. You got good articulation in his legs. He can kick about that far forward and about that far back. Only problem is you can see the inner gears inside of his legs. I don't like that squeak, and this pops off a lot. So that's one of the gripes that I have about this. Again, I wish that on characters where they have a lot of skin exposed, I wish they would give some type of shading just to like tone the musculature out. His hand, especially this one, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it seems really big for him compared to like his fist, which looks pretty accurate, I would say. So you have his arms. These arms don't come out, they don't do anything, they don't move. He has the elbow joint, which I don't think is a double bend. Nope, it's not a double bend. It's just a regular arm joint. Bicep swivel. You have your little squeaky ratchet joint up here. Not a ratchet joint. You have your whole kind of 360 degree rotation, which is, again, limited by that type of material that his jacket is made out of. What I do like, though, are his sandals. For his toe bend, they actually made it so that way the bottom of the sandal moves with his toes. So, for example, if he was standing like this, where his heel would be up, the sandal would actually still be down. Which I think is a genius thing to do with characters that wear sandals. I think this is a very, very smart detail to do. His face sculpt, his face is great. That looks exactly like Luffy. His chest scar is a very good paint job on it. Mine is perfection. I love it. You have the silver paint, the gold paint on his buckles here. And his hat is removable, but if you take it off, he's got some serious hat head going on. Now, his hat has a little tab here in the front and another tab here in the back, which actually tabs into the back of his head here, which you can just plug right into his head, and that is how his hat stays on. So, let's go over Luffy's accessories, and then we can move on and show you guys what else I have a slight problem with. So let's raise this camera up just a little bit. Just tilt it ever so slightly, and let's bring out his accessories. And here we are. So, you have, of course, like I said earlier, on the box, you have Luffy's just normal kind of serious face. I do love the details in it. It looks exactly like Luffy. And if you look close, if I can get this thing to focus again, because like I said before, it does not like to focus. You can almost see the bit of a furrowed brow there in his forehead. And then, of course, on his angry face here, you can see it a little bit more pronounced. Again, let's try to get that camera to focus. It doesn't like to do that. There we go. You can see the kind of veins popping out on his forehead a little bit. Not as pronounced as Zoro's. You, of course, have the black sideburns on each of his faces. And then, again, my personal favorite face on this is the classic anime, oh my god, what just happened, bug-eye face. Which, come on, let's get this camera to focus here. Here we go. You got the blue sweat drop down the side of his face, his tongue sticking out, his eyes bulging out. I adore this face. This is probably my absolute favorite one. And if you guys remember, we had that bonus face that came with Zoro's packaging, which is this one right here, which has that surprised, shocked face. You get the little drop of sweat on his forehead there. His jaw's dropping down. I think it's great. I think it's very good. Again, it looks like Luffy. Now, you can probably tell over here, there's a couple of black pieces. That's because if you want to display this Luffy with his hat off, you can pull his head right off, take his face off, which also includes taking off this front part of his hair, which you can then pull out this entire section here, so you don't need that anymore. You do need this. This will then tab into the back of this open-haired piece, which you can then also include this little part that goes down here. It's supposed to be like the hair that's on the back of his neck. You can put whatever face you want to put on. Let's put on the extra bonus Zoro face. Plug that right in. And then you would put this hair on the front of it. So then, just like that, if it wants to tab in, sometimes these tabs have a mind of their own. They want to work when they want to work. Sometimes that happens. There we go. Oh, again, we're going to want to make sure this part stays on his neck, because that's for the extra hair. There we go. Just plug that ball joint right back into his neck. And there you have Luffy without his hat on. Now, here's one of the downsides that I personally have with this. I think that they should have included a string on the hat that you could just put around his neck, and that way it'll hang off his back like this. Like it does in the show. When he's not wearing it, he has it hanging. He doesn't just have it floating off. Either he's wearing it, or somebody's holding onto it, or wearing it themselves. So, that's one thing that I have to say about that. But, let us, again, talk about the hat for a second. This is Luffy's signature straw hat. He got it from Shanks in a very early episode. I believe it was probably the first episode. Might have been a little bit later on. But the texture on this actually makes it look just like straw. And for those fans of One Piece who are watching it, if you notice, there's 3 slashes in the top of the hat that have been stitched up. This is when Buggy... Whoops, I dropped it. That's not supposed to happen. This is when Buggy stabbed Luffy's hat very early in the series and damaged it, and then Nami was nice enough to stitch it back up for him. They did not have to include that little detail. But they did, and I absolutely love them for it. It's such a good detail to, like, the fans. And you might not even notice it when you first grab it, but you will notice it now. And you have the red band that's wrapped around Luffy's hat. It is actually a separate piece. It's not painted on, but it does not come off. And again, if you wanted to pose the... Oh, let's... I didn't even talk about this. His other hands. So you have this other open palm hand, which goes along with that one. You get 2 of each hand. Now, on my copy, I did wind up losing his other fist. I don't know where it is, but he does normally come with 2 fists. And he also comes with these 2 karate chop-esque closed finger open palm hands, as if he's getting ready to do a gum pistol, where he usually has his hand out like this right before he strikes. Now, one of my personal favorite ways of posing him, I love this. Let's take this off, and I'll be right back. And this has got to be my favorite pose that I usually have this figure in when he's just sitting on my shelf in his display. The wide-eyed, surprised, bug-eyed face. Oh my god, do I love this. They didn't even have to include this kind of a face, but they did, and it is phenomenal. It's great. It's absolutely great. Well, there you have it. There's my review of the SH Figuarts Monkey D. Luffy. If you guys have, again, any other Figuarts that you'd like me to review, please drop it in the comments. If I own it, I will review it. I have no problem with that. If you want to make a request for a type of video, feel free to let me know, and I'll see what I can do about that. But until next time, guys, this has been the Eternal Ranger. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Eternal Ranger Reviews. Stay safe, stay healthy, and above everything else, may the power protect you. I'll see you guys next week with a brand new video. I have no idea what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be a good one. Take care, guys.